Oh, very good, friends. Gosh, I inadvertently hit the start button, so I guess I better start talking. Doc South here. I don't know. I was just futzing with the camera. Next thing you know, bingo. Hey, okay. Well, nothing new. Let's see. Anyway, Doc here. I was thinking the other day. I don't know how to. If I can find it, I'll put it on my Facebook page. But it was fascinating. A wonderful video. I was telling Sandy about this yesterday. There's this video of a very old man in a nursing home, very, very old, and I don't know. He's probably got some kind of dementia problem, some paralysis kind of thing. He basically was sitting in his wheelchair. And it looks like, he lived basically a productive, happy life most of his life. But now all of a sudden and I remember seeing this when I used to work. I used to see this state of consciousness when I worked one summer in a state mental hospital. No, I was not the patient. I worked there. I was an orderly. Actually, it was very interesting work. But there were people, they would sit like this, all just scrunched up and with their eyes shut tight, their mouth, and sometimes it was hard to feed them. They might open their mouth just a little. You'd try to get their oatmeal in their mouth in the morning, and you had to be careful you didn't choke them and stuff with the food. It was tough, and they looked almost like they were in pain and very, very tense. I assume it was a kind of a muscle spasm kind of thing, along with, I'm sure, some kind of dementia, perhaps hallucinations. I don't know if I pray they weren't frightening hallucinations, but they didn't look like they were doing too well. Death would have been a relief, I think, for them, and yet they linger in that state. But they showed that in this one nursing home, someone started playing a very old song for this old gentleman. I forget what the song was. Doesn't matter. It was an old song that would have been popular when he was a kid. And you know what was funny? All of a sudden, as that song played, for a while it had no effect, and then all of a sudden his eyes opened and he looks around and he starts singing to the song, and his hands relaxed, if I recall right. And next you know, he's fairly happy, and he's singing. He's singing, for crying out loud. If I again, I'm pretty sure I'm describing this correctly. And he once again he was somewhat happy, and he could answer basic questions. If I again, it was amazing, absolutely amazing, the transformation. What do they say? Music hath charms. I don't know. I also myself now, when I DJ sometimes at senior care centers, which is something I think, having seen that video, I think I'm going to try to get into a little bit, because I do see this. You, I was playing at one of the care centers, at some care center not too far from here, I think out near the Delaware River. And a lady in a walker who literally hobbled into the room where I was going to be playing. I mean, just took her forever to get in. Moving putting the walker like 6 inches ahead. Then she'd walk a little bit, then another, walk a little bit, and then took her what seemed like an hour to sit down. I mean, it wasn't an hour, but you see, well, yeah, just very, very slow. And I played an old Glenn Miller tune. Luckily, it was a fairly long tune, and I forget which one. It doesn't matter. It was a nice jump tune. And she stood up. She stood up, grabbed her walker, and she walked out in front of my speakers. And then she put the walker to one side. She backed away from it, and French, it brings tears to your eyes. All of a sudden, she's boogieing. she's boogieing and dancing, moving her feet and stuff. And now she wasn't dancing fast, but she was all this stuff they people do when they dance. The song was over. She grabbed her walker, pulled it back close to her, and then hobbled back to the chair and took her time sitting down. But it made a difference, and she was smiling. Yes. Oh God, it was so cool to see. Oh, honestly, in the right frame of mind, it gets me choked up to even. Yeah, it's just amazing, just amazing. So I'm going to start hunting around, see where I can. If you know of any place, now I would have to charge for the service, but actually in some cases I don't. Where it's maybe a care center where there's just no money for entertainment. So there are such places, but again, it's a nominal thing. But I'm very interested in that. If you know of any activity directors or something, let me know. And the other thing is you should see the memories it brings back and the cool stories you get. I remember saying, I played a Frank Sinatra song, and I said to the crowd, it wasn't a whole lot of people, but I said, hey, did any of you ever see Frank Sinatra in actuality? Did you go see him sing? Did you ever run into him? And one lady raised her hand and said, yeah, she says, I'm from Hoboken. I remember him as a kid. And he'd sing here and there. Yeah, she was pretty neat. She said he seemed like a nice guy. She says, I don't know. I didn't really. We just kind of ran into each other on the sidewalk. He might say hi. I might say hi. Another lady. What was it? I think it was Sinatra again. Some ladies were in New York City. I guess they said it was like in the 40s or the early 50s, and they're walking down the street, and Frank Sinatra walks past them. And he was in a hurry, and they said, my gosh, there's Frank Sinatra. Hey! And with that, Frank stops, he turns around, faces them, and takes his hat and goes, ladies? Like that. And I guess they walked with him for a while. Yeah, like arm in arm, like in one of the musicals. Yeah. No, they didn't dance or nothing, but he was just being nice. Yeah. Who else? Some of the other stars. Al Jolson. Al Jolson used to like to just, if he's standing there waiting for a bus, or walking past a fire station in New York City, he'd say, hey, you guys want to hear a song? Yeah. Okay, well, he'd start singing while while they're waiting for the bus, or while the firemen are polishing the chrome. I don't know. You get these stories. I know one that was kind of wild. Sandy and I were DJing at a senior care center in Mendham, New Jersey at one time. And I'm playing a song. I said this is the Bob Chester Orchestra. The song is, oh gosh. I'm having a senior moment. I can't think of the name of the song, but it was a lovely tune, a very melodic, lovely tune. It almost came to me. Well, maybe it will. In any case, I'm playing the song, and an orderly comes over, and he says in a low voice to me, he says, Doc, is that the Bob Chester Orchestra? I said, yeah. He says, and you hear that person on the piano? I said, yeah. He says, you won't believe this, but the lady over there next to you, and in the set, over there in the first row. Yeah, notice how she's sitting near your speaker? Yeah, he said, well, she's deaf, but she can feel the music from the speaker. I said, yeah. Guess what? He says, that's the piano player. I've looked up her her bio, and that lady used to be with the Bob Chester Orchestra. She was the pianist, and that's probably her playing. I said, oh my God. And I'm looking, and she was enjoying the song. She could feel it somehow. Ain't that something? So I don't know. I'm getting kind of hooked on this thought. I'm gonna make a few calls. If you know of anyone, or maybe you're an activity director yourself, or you're with a senior senior citizen center, in your town, and you'd like a guy to come play some music, well, you let me know. I would be very interested in doing that. And I got stuff all the way back to the 20s. Although sadly, most of the people who were adults in the 20s, probably not too many left now. But it was good music. Okay. Well, anyway, I thought I'd say. All you got to do is email me, docsouthshow@yahoo.com. docsouthshow@yahoo.com. Okay? Anyway, I thought I'd say. It's pretty cool. Keeping the. I like too. I even like at the Chatterbox. You play. There's one song I play for Lou and Arlene for they belong to the Wanderers Car Club. It's called A Casual Look, and and they. I don't know. There's something about that song. They always smooch when they hear that song. I don't know. They won't tell me what it is. And also what the other day. Oh gosh, I can't think of the name of the song right now. It doesn't matter. But I was playing. A guy came over to me at the Chatterbox and said, "Hey, do you have this blah 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 blah?" Yeah, I said, "Yeah." Yeah, I got it. I'll play it. He says, I'm the piano player in it. Yeah, he says, I was with that group. And so I found the song and played it. And I didn't tell him I was playing it. But all of a sudden, I saw his ears perk up. Hey, hey. And he turns around and gives me a like that. Yeah, yeah, cool. Anyway, it's neat. Sometimes some old artist will be in the Chatterbox. They'll send their grandkids over to ask for the song. The 1910 Fruit Gum Company. Yeah, oh my. And one of their songs, I forget which one, but doggone, huh? Neat. Anyway, I thought I'd say, music hath charms. This, again, come on up to the Chatterbox, you get a chance. You still got till sometime in September before they close. So come on by, say hello. Maybe I got a song that'll do the same thing to you. Okay. We'll see you later. Thank you, friends. God bless.